Alright, chat, good evening. Welcome to the live stream where I'm going to start farming dislikes. You don't understand, in Romania, tensions are high. A lot of people lived these elections. They were a lot more passionate than previous ones for some reason. I believe Romania is importing a lot of American culture. I wouldn't be surprised if the establishment candidate actually had help from people that worked with the Democrats in the United States because they made the entire election into a circus. We used to have like other elections that were more chill. Um, but this one, they made it feel like it's existential, right? Like, if people don't vote correctly, Romania is going to be abandoned by the international community. We're going to be isolationists. Nobody is going to want to do business with the Romanian. All the companies are going to flee. No politician is ever going to want to talk to us. The value of the dollar, the Romanian currency, is going to plummet. We didn't used to have elections like that before. I mean, sure, that there was like vote for me because the other guy is corrupt, but not like this. Not like this. And people were absolutely unhinged. The only time that I've seen something like this was during the pandemic. It's like if you happen to be an anti-vaxxer, you would get like all of the pro-vaxxers thinking that you are the bane of mankind, that you're the type of person that's bringing doom and pestilence into the nation. And so, yeah, many did vote because of fear. This is something that I've heard in academic circles. I'm still reading a little bit of literature on propaganda, and there's a new word coined called panic voting, right? So before the election, you scared the population. You're basically saying if you don't vote now, it's the end of the world. And so you get a huge turnout, right? They did the same in Germany with the AFD. They did it in Romania. Like, if you don't vote now, the stock market is going to collapse. The economy is never going to recover. And so a lot of people went to vote for the future of my children. This level of unhingedness is because our standards of living have gotten up, so people can now afford to care about ideology. I do agree when it comes to Romania. When we were poor, people were caring more about immediate, tangible, and pragmatic things. Like people don't care about, oh, this guy has a mistress. This guy said such and such. No, people care, can this guy bring results so I don't starve? And so, as we're becoming more prosperous, a lot of people are importing actual American ideology, and so it's more ideological oriented, right? It's not vote for this guy because this is what's good for the nation. It's more like vote for this guy because the other one is evil incarnate. And you have like this call to action thing. Like, you can't just be neutral. You can't just choose not to vote because if you don't vote, you're with the evil guy. We didn't used to think like this, by the way. I don't know how many people still do. Probably not that many, actually, because the results weren't overwhelming, right? Like, the current president didn't win by a landslide. And so half of the country isn't as extremist, if you will. Although maybe hold on, maybe I spoke too soon, because there is a huge chunk of the other group of people that believe now we're going to get the French treatment. Like, we're going to have LGBTQ, LMNOP in every single institution, in every single walks of life. We're going to have hate crimes everywhere. We're going to have massive number of immigrants, probably from Turkey and Azerbaijan and Nepal, just swerving over the continent. So like the other side also viewed it as existential. Again, not everyone, right? Like, there were extremes on both sides. There were people that were believing that this is the last election, and that if the correct candidate doesn't win, then it's all over. But definitely more than usual. I think Romanians are unaware of the moral decay in Europe. Yes and no. It depends. Some of them don't view it as a moral decay. You need to understand, if line goes up, some people don't care. Like, I know this is difficult to believe, right? But like, some individuals generally don't give a shit if line goes up. So like, if they work at a good corporation and they're getting a lot of wealth and money, they generally don't care. Like, they will say, all right, so the streets aren't safe. Who the fuck cares? Like, I will keep myself safe. The streets aren't secure. That's fine. You know, I get censorship. All right, well, I'm not going to talk about those things. There's a lot of people that think like that. And like, they know what the European Union brings, and they may even enjoy it. Like they may even like the LGBT stuff. It's like, okay, well, I get to have LGBT stuff. Cool. You know? And so, to assume that everyone shares your values is a rogue place to start your analysis from. You're not the only person on earth. Not everyone thinks like you. And it's true for them, right? Like, if they were to assume that you share their values, they would also be wrong. Good corporation in the sense of pay. Yeah, like, there are companies that pay really well, especially for a Romanian salary. So, yeah, if you work at Amazon in Romania, it's pretty fucking good. You get a lot of cash. The work isn't that hard. Yeah, there is such a thing as a good corporation, sure. At least not the Amazons that are here, right? Like, you don't have to piss in a bottle if you work at an Amazon in Romania. But the payment is definitely top-notch. Others will spy themselves for their ideology. It's true, yes. Like, there are people that are actually ideologically natured. In Romania, the ideology isn't like in America, where you have like a clear left-wing, right-wing distinction. In America, in Romania, some of the ideology, at least on the right, it's they kept us locked during the pandemic, the fucking bastards. They were censoring us on TikTok, fucking animals. You know, like that's what people say on the bus. That's what people say in the train station. And so it's not necessarily ideological, like they're understanding libertarian values and they read John Locke. They have like this instinct of like, you're not supposed to do these things, right? And if you do these things, they're upset. They can't really articulate why. It's not a coherent ideology. It's just like, you don't do this, right? And if you do this, we're going to flip the table. Like, we're going to vote for the clown candidate. We're going to vote for the extremists. We're going to do anything possible in order to make sure that you guys don't get to keep having access to our taxpayer money. Sargon read Locke. He doesn't like Locke anymore, I understand. I understand that Sargon has abandoned the Locke. He is now... I don't even know, like, what ideology is he now? I think he calls himself a conservative, but, like, with caveats. Every single day he reminds me why he doesn't worship Jesus. And he's like, well, I like religion, but I don't worship Jesus. I don't know. I don't follow his channel anymore. I used to like Sargon. Like, it's not that I dislike him as a person or that I don't like him as, you know, Dungeons and Dragons player. It's more of the fact that I used to like him when he seemed like an average Joe. You know, just like an average person experiencing shit and trying to articulate them from a layman's perspective. Now I see him as an intellectual. And it's like, well, thank you. If I want to listen to intellectuals, I can just go on the news. I can just go on the mainstream media. I don't like that, you know. I'm not saying he shouldn't be, right? Like, he's obviously doing a lot better than me. He's obviously having a lot of subscribers. So, like, there are people that like what he is saying. It's just not the type of content that I prefer. I prefer more down-to-earth stuff. I prefer more, you know, hearing what the layman, what the average Joe has to say. It's a very impotent culture, though. Romanians love nothing more than to complain, but they never formulate anything meaningful. I don't know, if that's the case, Romania wouldn't be as good as it is today. Like, here's the thing. We keep forgetting where we left and where we are. Never in my wildest dreams would I have believed that my country will be this prosperous in 2025. Like, let's be honest. If I went to Robot in the year 2000 and I described to him how Romania would look today, he wouldn't believe me, right? The country is doing pretty well. So, I can't really say that... the politicians have fucked up majorly. We have played ball really well, especially with the European Union. We're like, oh, yes, we're going to do what you say. Yes, environmentalism. Oh, yeah, LGBT immigrants. Yeah, sure. And then we applied almost none of the policies, or we just pretended to apply them or applied them at a minimum rating. And so, no, I'm not really complaining where we are. I think we're doing a lot better than we could have done. We're doing better than Portugal. We're doing better than Spain. I mean, honestly, starting a business in Romania, it's a lot better than starting a business in Spain. And so I can't really complain, and I can't say that, oh yeah, like Romanians are impotent at doing anything. No, I think like Eastern Europe is doing pretty good. Well, we're not as good as the Poles, but I think we're doing better than the Hungarians. I think we may be doing better than Bulgarians. So yeah, no, I'm not complaining. Yeah, of course, for now, obviously, but if the ways go, if things go the way they're going right now, in the future, I do think Eastern Europe is going to become a lot more important, both politically, economically, militarily. We're like gacha games. We're only good because everyone else is bad. But what if like being good actually makes you bad? Have you thought about that? Like, what if no empire can survive prosperity? What if like being too wealthy makes you decadent? What if like weakness builds strength and strength builds weakness? What if it's just the way of life, and you oscillate from one position to another? Huh? You see that? Oh my goodness, I'm so philosophical right now. Do I see Sargon as an out-of-touch boomer? No, I see him as a sad case, to be honest. He is the type of person that really loves his country, but the country doesn't love him. And so, I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. I understand how difficult it is to start a career. And, like try to bring about social change when every single cog of the system just wants you gone. Like, I generally believe that he cares. I do believe that he is worried about his nation because he wants his kids to grow up right. But unfortunately, I'm looking at what's happening in his country, and I just don't see it. I think Britain is actually the clown car of international politics. I don't see any hope for it in the near future. And so, yeah, if I was Sargon and I told him this, I would have just left. Like, just move to Poland, move to Hungary, move to Eastern Europe. And you can still vote in your country. You can still run your Lotus Eater podcast. You can still do everything that you're doing from there. But you can do it from somewhere far away. And then your kids can be raised right. You can be in a country where you know that the politicians don't hate you and exploit you. But if you keep your business in Britain, you're just paying into the system. You're just paying taxes into a system that absolutely dislikes you, wants to censor you, wants you gone. I don't know why you keep doing that. No, that's Germany. Why do you think Germany gets to be unique? Why do you think other nations can't compete, huh? Suffering builds character. Is the labor theory of value for morals? It is true, though. I'm not going to change my mind on that. Yeah, like, suffering does bring character. Look at World War I, right? Like, when do you have fertilizer invented, which fed millions of people? Oh, yeah, that's right. Through suffering and war. Sargon needs to understand what Mr. Kerbecker said to him. He is YouTuber entertainer, not activism. His activism will end nowhere. I disagree with the take of Mr. Bedecker. Because how do you become an activist? Like, what exactly does an activist have that an entertainer doesn't? Sargon actually opened his own mainstream media company. He had Liz Truss interviewed. He interviewed British politicians. No, I do think that he is doing what a man with his finances and reach can do. Like, take into account, he is born in a family without any connections. Like, he doesn't have nepotism with the establishment, doesn't have connections with the establishment, didn't go to a university to study with current politicians. And what he did is he started a YouTube channel, made some money, opened his own mainstream media company, and is now doing a lot more than the average Joe in order to change politics. I'm willing to bet that Sargon changed a lot of minds and influenced a lot of votes. Like he probably can influence around 2 or 3% of the votes with Lotus Eaters. I don't doubt that. you know. And so I disagree with what Mr. Bedecker said with that aspect. It's like, oh, you're just an entertainer. No, I mean, obviously he's not going to be a Steve Bannon, right? Like, he's not a millionaire. He doesn't have enough wealth to buy a social media like Elon Musk. But the very fact that he has Lotus Eaters, and if he plays his cards right, like maybe that thing remains even after he retires and it passes to his son or someone else. Yeah, no, like the man actually opened the newspaper. Yeah, he did something good. The only criticism I have is like, why the fuck did you have to open it in Britain? Like, you could have opened it in Germany. It would have been better than Britain, and that says a lot, because it's fucking Germany, right? When Mr. America made that point, it was a long time ago. Yeah, like, Sargon didn't have his Lotus Eaters open. UK is right there against Germany. Granted, Germany started terraforming for coal. Britain is a very, very weird case, man. Extremely weird case. The thing that I think is happening in Britain is that the politicians are terrified of civil unrest. Like, they're absolutely mortified of violence, right? Eastern Europe is not like that. Like, in Eastern Europe, if you start shit, they basically just send the riot squad after you. They beat the protesters senseless, and that's it. Like, they don't care. But in Britain, they're terrified. So, like, appeasement is the way they're moving forward. And so this is why you have the current prime minister being labeled two-tier Keir, right? Because he knows that the people that are the natives, well, they don't really start shit. They're not that violent. They're right. And so it's a lot easier to crack on them. Meanwhile, when you have the immigrants starting shit, oh, well, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we need to be careful, you know, don't upset them. This is why, like, you get to see 100 Muslims praying in public, defying regulations, because it's like, what are you going to do? But if you have, like, a single person praying in front of an abortion clinic, immediately they get arrested. It's because of the appeasement thing, right? And so, like, where is this going to lead? Well, if it keeps it up, eventually the immigrants are going to have their own political parties and they're going to start winning elections. They're either not worried or they don't think it will happen. But I don't know what to say, right? And you're going to have pretty much, I guess you call them no-go zones, right? Where the police don't go, the firefighters don't go. Like, they have their own rules. They have their own systems. Which is why I think Keir Starmer himself came out and started saying, okay, well, maybe integration is a good thing because everyone is voting for Nigel Farage now. SRC Maker, thank you for the $25. Agreed, he can influence a few percentage points. He is definitely on the political class's radar. Someplace I would not want to be. He needs to move his family and Lotus Eaters before they come down on him. Not really. Here's the thing. Politicians, especially the ones in democratic nations, they want to pretend that there is some pushback, right? Like, they want to pretend that there is some opposition. And so they're not going to purge every single newspaper, every single media channel, like especially when you look at Sargon, right? Like, the Lotus Eaters is a medium-sized business, but it's not getting like hundreds of millions of views. It's not like Sky News. And so they don't really care. Like, as long as he's not being an extremist or he's not becoming a problem, they don't give a shit. Now, if he was to run for office, or if someone that was running for office, like Nigel Farage, would endorse them, or, you know, like, if he would actually become a problem, then maybe. But, like, right now, no. Like, they're not going after every single mainstream media outlet, right? They want to keep appearances, and it's not just keeping appearances, it's also a release valve. You gotta understand, like, the way societies are ruled today, every single thing that people do is already booked and measured. Like, the people in charge, they already know the best and most optimal way to run a society. And so you let things like Lotus Eaters exist so that people can blow up steam. Like, they go there, they're feeling that they're being included, they're feeling that they're being heard, and now they're less angry, right? So Didn't Sargon run for UKIP? This was before he ran the Lotus Eaters. And when he did run for UKIP, yeah, he got his YouTube channel banned. He got demonetized. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if he was to run for politics again, they would go after his mainstream media channel. Like, back then, they just went after his YouTube. In Germany, Sargon would already have some lawsuits on hands for being far right. Is it that bad in Germany? Again, like, I know about Britain, but I think, like, Germany have some political dissidents too, right? Like, you guys have, like, some newspapers that are for AFD, especially if you're in East Germany. Like, I don't think it's that bad, right? Even in China, you have dissidents. Even in Russia, you have, like, dissidents. They always allow, like, some level of dissent. They're not interested in purging everything, because then, like, they don't even know what the opposition is talking about, what they're planning, etc., etc. And so, they never try a full 100% crackdown. Yeah, Germany did try banning AFD. I know. But I'm talking about the media now. I'm not talking about political parties. And the reason they're trying to ban AFD is because the AFD is actually becoming the second largest party, and it's close to becoming the first. The thing with mainstream media, what I was saying is, like, if you're a medium channel, right? Like, you're not Sky News, you're not as big as the BBC, like, you're not really causing any problems, but you're there and you have, like, some medium influence, then they leave you alone. Anyway, right, let's talk a little bit about the Romanian election. I'll probably make a video about it. Why did the right-wing candidate didn't win? Let me see if I can get some pictures. Now, no matter what I say, I'm going to piss off some people. Like, I tried having this conversation. It's like, well, why didn't he win? And immediately it's like, because it was stolen, it was rigged. You are a moron, V, a cretin, a person lacking intelligence. We shouldn't even have this conversation. You do not understand how smart I am and how dumb you are. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Could he have gotten more votes? Absolutely. He could have gotten a lot more votes. I'm actually on the belief, and I'm not the only one that's on this train of thought, that the right-wing candidate didn't want to win. And the interesting thing, it sounds like a cope, but when you think about it, kind of makes sense. So why do I think that he didn't want to win? Well, let's see what would have happened if he had won. What were his promises? Well, his promises was that he would make a referendum in order to bring back the previous elections and get Georgescu as president. In other words, even if he won, he was telling us he wasn't very interested in governing. And so why do I think he wasn't interested in governing? Because Romania is heading to some really deep shit right now. Really, really nasty economical shit that can't be avoided. We're talking about massive inflation. We're talking about a government that's going to have to bring austerity measures, going to have to raise taxes, going to have to fire a lot of people. No matter who is in the government, chances are their political career is over. That's what I personally think. And if you're a young person like this guy, you know, Simeon, and you realize that you have two chances. Number one, get into government and have to tax people, have to fire people, have to do all this shit. Kind of going to ruin your party. But if you're in the opposition, and especially if you're martyred and you look like, well, you did your best, but the entire system was against you, well, the next time there's parliamentary elections, I think if you're in his political party, you have a chance to get in. Now, again, this is my take, my personal opinion. I don't know if I'm right or not. You know, like, some people disagree. Some people is like, no, he is the opposition of the controlled. Everything is controlled. We were in a matrix. It's like, well, why are you talking to me about it? If everything is already controlled, why are you even entertaining the conversation? Yes, I'm pretty sure that the opposition is spending billions of dollars for an election that doesn't matter. Sure, makes absolute sense to me. But like the very fact that I think differently upsets them, right? Like I'm not upset if you think you're in a matrix. I'm not going to contradict you. But like, why are you contradicting me? You know, I don't believe I'm in a matrix. Now, regarding the elections themselves, as I mentioned before, I'm really upset that the previous ones got canceled. And the Americans, they put into question the legitimacy. This is why we got removed from the visa waiver program, right? And normally speaking, like, I guess we have an original democracy, right? Like, nowhere on earth a democracy like ours exists. Maybe it's better than everyone else. But from what I understand now, the Constitutional Court, every democracy is going to have a list of people from 0 to infinity. And they will say these people cannot run for office. And we're going to be given a curated list of approved people that we can vote for. So I don't know if this was just this election or if it's going to happen from now on. But again, original democracy. I think America should learn from us rather than we from them. And so going to Georgescu, why do I think he wanted to lose? What could he have done in order to... sorry, not Georgescu, Simeon. What could he have done in order to get more votes? Give me a second. First thing that he fucked up, in my opinion, and this is like a big one. Massive fuck up. He upset this guy. This guy goes by the name of Gigi Beckali, right? Gigi Beckali. I'm trying to think of like an American equivalent, but like you guys don't have something like that. This is ours. You can't have him. He's unique. He's a self-made man that is incredibly wealthy for Romanian standards. He owns football clubs. No, a football club. One of them, not many. Owns one football club and is with Jesus. He is the warrior of light. But unlike the type of Romanian evangelist, you know, with the mega church and shit, this guy actually built villages. Like, this guy genuinely donates. Like, he does charity work, like, for real. And so, because he does charity work, because he's into football, there is a niche group of people, probably, I would say, maybe 10, 15% of the country that genuinely loves him. Everyone else thinks he's an idiot, thinks he's stupid, thinks he's a joke. But, like, he's got, like, this core base of 10% of people that genuinely look up to him. And they look up to him because he is providing them entertainment with football. He's really passionate. So, like, almost every single football player, all the football galleries like this guy. And then entire villages that were destroyed by flooding, that were destroyed by natural disasters, and he rebuilt them with his own money. Like, again, imagine this, right? Like, you're in a village, the water comes in, ruins your house, and then this rich guy comes up and says, you know what? That's okay. Just light a candle, pray to God, and I'll make you another house. And so there's absolutely no reason why you want to piss off this guy. I'm not saying you should make him prime minister. I'm not saying that you should be his buddy, but what I'm saying is that maybe you shouldn't insult him in TikTok videos. Maybe you shouldn't stab him in the back. Because those football galleries, they vote like the military. Like, they get into buses in order, and they go in and they fucking vote. If this guy tells them, vote for him, they vote. They don't vote because they believe in what they vote. They vote because this guy tells them to. Because they look up to him. And so Simeon pissed this guy off, literally before the election. Why? I don't fucking know. But he chose to piss him off. Maybe there was a clash of personalities. Maybe he generally wants to lose. I don't know, but again, like, this guy has around 10% from what I saw. Like, every single election, whenever this guy endorses someone, that candidate gets like 10%. Why he went against him, I still don't know. Zlixion, native Brits, should be setting up no-go zones. Well, yeah, then they get arrested. Alright, another guy that he upset. Now, this guy, I kind of understand why he would upset, but it's not strategic. So this guy used to be prime minister in Romania. A lot of people hate him, for good reason, but he had 15% of the vote. And this guy was LARPing as a nationalist. Okay, like, this election, this guy was basically saying that he is right-wing. He used to be with the Democrats back in the day. Now he had the change of heart. Used to be with China. But again, now he has a change of heart. Now he's Baga. Now he's with Donald Trump. I think he even went to the Republican convention in the United States. Or was he at Mar-a-Lago? I think he may have been at Mar-a-Lago. I'd have to check. Regardless, he was posing himself as a right-winger. Okay. So he gets 15% of the votes. And he was about to endorse George Simeon. Like, literally, he was just about to go on live and endorse the man when he gets a message from George Simeon's party saying, yeah, we're not going to work with Ponta. Fuck that guy. Well, that makes it really difficult to endorse someone, doesn't it? Like, help me understand, you know? Like, what the fuck is he thinking? Like, I'm not saying get the guy as the prime minister, but take his fucking endorsement. Like, do you want to win or not? You can't be this ideologically rigid when the other guy is, like, taking endorsements from everywhere, including the sewer. He finds an endorsement in the trash can, he fucking takes it and shuts the fuck up, right? That's the other guy. And meanwhile, you're like, no, I don't know from that guy. Really? 15% of the fucking vote. That's literally how much you would have needed to win. So you don't take it from Beckali. You don't take it from this guy. Who are you coalitioning with? Well, that was the whole thing. Like you said, well, the entire system was against me. Well, no fucking shit it was. The other guy has like 12 coalitions. All of them hate each other. And they're probably going to ask him for favors now. But that's how you actually do politics if you intend to win. If you intend to be a loser, oh, be ideologically rigid then. Yeah, don't work with anyone. Holy shit. And so, I'm not saying you have to do a business with the devil, but like, look at Donald Trump, right? Like, Trump made coalitions. Trump went and told the libertarians that he's going to free Ulbricht. Trump went and promised the black community a lot of things. Promised the Jewish community a lot of things. Right? Like he went in and he made coalitions. He got a lot of people on board. Because that's how you win. That's how you do politics. Like, I'm sorry, but this is the meta. You can't win by any other way unless you want to be a loser with your morals intact. You gotta negotiate. Even the left negotiates. Holy fucking shit, like the left in Britain. Oh, they deal business with the Muslims even though they don't share the conservative values, and then they do business with the atheists, and they do business with Antifa, they do business with fucking everyone to just fucking get elected. And then they see. But if you're going to, like, refuse this guy, refuse that guy, okay, well... No, he wasn't the opposition, like, that's the thing. He was the grifter. You have to give Trump a plate to negotiate, that is true. And finally, the thing that actually upset a lot of people, and I know for sure that this caused a lot of ass hurt, because, like, even in my family, this didn't go well. And I had a couple of people that were undecided, and they would have voted for either. And then when he did this, he started voting for the other guy. They started voting for Nicu Șordan. He refused to go to debates. Now, here's the thing, right? Like, this is not the United States. This is Romania. In Romania, we fucking debate. Unless you're absolutely sure that you're winning. Unless you're, like, getting 70% of the vote, and you know that the other person is getting 30%, you show up to the fucking debate. It doesn't matter if the debate is rigged. It doesn't matter if the other guy has an earpiece. It doesn't matter if the other guy knows the questions. You go and you fucking debate. Okay, it's fine if you miss one debate. But when you're making it a pattern, when it's consistently he refused to debate, it makes you look like a coward. It's a lot better in Romania if you show up and you don't lose your shit and you're chill than if you choose not to show up. And so the media started mocking him. Like, even at, I think, like, was it Realitatea, right? Like, it was his own, the television that was on his side. Even there, he didn't go. And this costs a couple of percentages, not a lot. You know, like, most of his base didn't care. But trust me when I say, like, a couple of percentages, definitely. And in a tight race, where you're concerned that, you know, every vote matters, stunts like this, they're not to be emulated. Future candidates that want to run for election should not emulate this. The only person that actually managed to not go to debates and won was the previous president, Iohannis. So, like, maybe he tried to look presidential. But the previous president, Iohannis, was actually up against a lady that couldn't speak proper Romanian. He knew for sure that he's going to win. He was already he already served one term as president, and so if you do one, you're most likely going to get the second. And so he could afford to not debate. But, like, George Simeon, like, consistently, non-stop chose not to debate. And so whomever advised him on this should get fired. I don't know if, again, I don't know if he wanted to lose on purpose. If he wanted to lose on purpose, then I understand the play. I respect that, because Nicu Șordan is going to have a very difficult job now, getting Romania through an economic crisis. He's going to have to return the favor for the people that helped him get elected. He's got a coalition of at least 10 people. Many of them hate each other. Sorry, not 10 people, 10 groups, right? He's got the Social Democrats, the National Liberals, the UDMR. All of the people that helped him, the televisions, everyone is going to ask for favors. And he's going to have to deliver. And when people notice that he's going a little bit overboard, they're going to dislike him. And so the only people benefiting from this are going to be the opposition, right? Now, if Simeon planned for this, you know, congratulations. But if he actually intended to win, and this is how he thinks the game should be played, I'm very disappointed. Because any of these things that I talked about, had he done the opposite, I think he could have been president now. If he didn't piss off Beckali, if he actually made a deal with Ponta, if he showed up and he debated, at the end of the day, he didn't need that many votes. Didn't need that much percentage. So it is what it is, you know. I'll probably make a video on my main channel about this, because I want to see what other people have to say. Sorry about that. Personally, I don't think necessarily it's rigged, because if it was rigged, they wouldn't cancel the first election, right? And let's say that it is rigged, then let's make them pay for it. You know, like, milk them of every single penny. Because if we are to assume that it is rigged, then rigging is expensive. Costs money, costs time, makes people nervous. And so milk them of every single dollar. Decide elections with a Beyblade match? Maybe he lost elections because he figured out that as a libertarian, becoming the government would be hypocrisy. I don't think his policy is libertarian, though. Like, for those of you who don't know who George Simeon is, the man managed to become popular by appearing during the pandemic and not being part of the establishment. So he was the only party in the pandemic that was advocating against lockdowns, that was crying at the abuses that were being done, was tackling with the censorship. And so this is why he got popular. I don't think he's a libertarian. Yeah, sure, he's LARPing as MAGA and stuff, but if you look at his policy, he's more close to the Social Democrats than an actual libertarian party. I don't even think Romania can be libertarian if you're neighboring Russia. Like, let's be real, you know, ideology is also tied a little bit to the geography. And so if you happen to be next to Russia, you can't afford to be libertarian. Why is hard for never good to comprehend this? Simeon was popular because he advocated against the COVID lockdowns. Exactly. And you gotta understand, a lot of people want to punish the establishment. Like, the political parties that were during the pandemic, people wanted to punish them, and they did. Like, the National Liberals absolutely got crushed. And what's even worse is that none of the establishment parties managed to field a candidate. And they had like 2 election cycles. None of them got through. People absolutely hate them. And so, you know, even the people that voted for Nicu Șordan, they view as if they voted someone from outside the system. He wasn't really from outside the system, given the fact that every single person in the system supported him. But that's the illusion that people got. Like, people are generally tired of the same politicians. Especially after, if you look at the country, and you look at how life was in 2020, like, for most people, life in 2020 was a lot better from every single metric, every single standpoint, compared to today. The price of electricity was better, price of gas was better, taxes were lower, censorship wasn't existing. And so, all these things make people wonder. It's like, well, hold on a little bit. Like, why is our way of life not stagnating but going down? Who's to blame? And so they decided to punish by electing Georgescu, and they canceled the elections. And now they decided to punish by electing Nicu Șordan, which they also view as a man outside the system. It seems like Simeon did ridiculously bad. It's hard to imagine being him. Look, let me put it this way, right? There is a chance that he wanted to lose. There's also a chance that he didn't have a lot of help. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, he was alone against the entire world. Like, absolutely no support, right? And the opposition had support from France, had support from the establishment parties, had support from the Romanian agencies, had support from the Constitutional Court, had support from the mainstream media. And so, like, on one hand, you have, like, centralized support, and on the other hand, you have a guy with grassroots. Is he going to make mistakes? I think so, yeah. Especially when he doesn't have as much experience in politics as the other guy. I don't buy the losing on purpose narrative. I'm not telling you to buy it, but it's the only thing that makes sense, because otherwise insanity is the other one. It's not like I'm just saying because he lost. I'm saying, like, what would happen if he would have won, right? So, like, if he would have won, he said that he would have placed Georgescu as prime minister. He would have changed the judges in the Constitutional Court. He would have then made a referendum to redo the elections, the previous elections, and then he would step down. And so, like, brother, I don't know what to say. Like, if he didn't lose on purpose, well, if he was going to govern, it would have been a shit show anyway, which is what would have made me happy. Because, like, shit show means taxes don't go up. Who supported Georgescu then? Well, this is another funny story, right? So there was a news article that the National Liberals actually pumped Georgescu because they wanted to go against Georgescu in the secondary, right? In the second runoff. And so they pumped a lot of money to his campaign. And the Social Democrats are also going viral with the TikTok video where they're saying that they should give votes for Georgescu because they also wanted to go against him in the second runoff, right? Like they viewed him as an easy to defeat candidate. And so what ended up happening is that they boosted him too much, and it went him and the USR lady. But I know many people that voted for Georgescu initially and then voted for Nicu Șordan. Like, especially in my town, especially in my city. Simeon had the party behind him. Georgescu won with nothing. Yeah, it's true. It's also because they didn't campaign against him, right? When Simeon campaigned, like with Georgescu, no one even knew who he was except the establishment. But like they didn't expect him to go that far. But like there was no counter campaigning against him, no counter signaling. They just allowed the election to take place as normal. Meanwhile, with Simeon, just like massive public pressure to the point where if you don't vote correctly, then the stock market crashes, the economy goes to shit. Basically, same language, Romance countries except French. Yeah, Romania has a Latin language. Oh yeah, he called Șoșoacă a Schwein. He called Șoșoacă a pig. She was complaining that he insulted her. Called her a fat pig. And so I mean, look, I get that some of us look at other people and we form our own opinions. Like we make our own mind about certain people, but to insult someone in public when they're on theoretically your side of the aisle, right? Like she is with the suveraniști. And you know that you can end up in a position where you'd want her votes. And you insult her in public. Was it worth it? Like, all you had to do was shut the fuck up. Like, you don't have to like her. You don't have to do what she says. You just have to not insult her in public. You can insult her in private. Right? Like, no one will know. Like, her voters won't know if you insult her behind closed doors. But if you're going to insult her in public, and you end up in a situation where, like, oh, if only I had a couple more votes. Well, I hope that insult is going to flash back in front of you like it's a PTSD from Vietnam. Again, I generally don't know what the fuck was he trying to do. Or maybe he wanted to win, but he's just way too fucking arrogant for politics. Yeah, well, apparently the people want a leader who is willing to address the harsh truths. And 10% of the people, right? 10% of the people that want a leader to address the harsh truths are voting for this chick. Right? 10% of the people that want the harsh truths are voting for her. And it's going to be very difficult to vote for you if you insulted her. Like, you could have had those 10% because she wasn't running. Yeah, at the end of the day, the right wasn't united. Like, that's another problem, right? The right wasn't united, and it's because the man wasn't making coalition. He also lost, he got in a fight, in a spurgout, with Târziu, right? Like, the second in command from his party. He was arguing with everyone, left and fucking right. Trump didn't do that. Trump was the opposite. Like, Trump before the election was friends with everyone on the right. It didn't matter if you're a neocon or not. Like, if you liked him, like, yeah, good, come here. Vivek, my old friend. Come here, Vivek. On stage. Right? Elon, come here. You were a Democrat before, but now you're a Republican. Your family, Elon. Come to Mar-a-Lago. I'll give you a hamburger. And so, when you look at Trump, he was actually doing the opposite. Literally everyone was like, all right, you're on board. You're on the Trump train. I don't fucking care. And so he made a coalition. And he united all Republicans behind him, except for the ones that he couldn't, right? Like, because they hated him. But it was like, because they didn't want, not because Trump didn't want. What's my bet on Nicu Jordan? Oh, here we fucking go, right? So, like, you want to know what will happen during the Nicu Jordan presidency. All right, this is my take, personal opinion. If you think he's not going to raise the VAT tax, you're absolutely delusional. He is most likely going to raise the VAT tax, or at best, in order to keep his promise, because like he wrote on a piece of paper that he's not going to raise the sales tax, right? The VAT tax. If he's not going to do that, we have a lot of things that are VAT exempt. Probably going to remove the exemption. Going to increase the income tax. Going to add additional taxes. I expect green taxes and other European bullshit. Life is going to get hard. If you think that the Romanian currency, the leu, was actually losing power because Simeon was about to get elected, I have bad news for you. It's going to drop dramatically during Nicu Jordan's presidency. They were sparking out that Simeon is going to fire around 500,000 people working in the public sector. Nicu Jordan is going to fire probably 500,000 of people working in the public sector. Is he going to bring the global Homo? This is something that a lot of people are worried. Is he going to bring the global Homo? I don't think he will bring the global Homo, chat. I don't think he will bring the global Homo. He will not bring the global Homo because if I remember correctly, please contradict me if I'm wrong. The global Homo was the reason that he left USR, right? Because he was actually in support for the traditional family at the referendum. And from what I can gather, the man is quite vengeful. Like, I looked at his political career, doesn't usually let things slide. And so chances of him bringing LGBTQ books into schools, opening new affirmative care centers, slim to none, especially with his parliament. Right? Like the parliament, the way it is now, very unlikely. I don't think it's going to be a priority. His priority is going to be how to cry in public, because the people are going to blame him for everything, even stuff that's not his fault. And I will tell you this, after seeing his political career, the man isn't convincing when he's pissing his eyes, even when he's right. Like, even when he's actually a victim, he just doesn't know how to cry. He's got like that face that is just like, no. The more he complains, the more he cries, the more people think he did it. Again, even if he didn't do anything, it's just like that type of personality. I don't know how to say it. But if I was married to him in a global Homo relationship, and he came to me and I would accuse him of cheating, and he cried and he said, no, V, I didn't cheat, that would prove to me that he did. It's just the way he is. I don't know. And so the presidency of Nicu Jordan is going to be like the presidency of Iohannis. He is kind of like Iohannis 2.0, also a mayor, right? Also a person that's more with the corporates. And so I do expect really nasty economic downturn. I do expect people will blame him. I do expect that he's going to go in public and piss his eyes that life is hard. And unfortunately for him, people will care. It's not going to be life is hard, nobody cares. No, like when he's going to cry in public, life is hard, people will care. They will care a little bit too much. And they will think that he is the reason on why life is hard. Because here's the difference, right? If Georgia Simeon got elected, people would expect that life is going to be hard. Like, that was part of the script. People who voted for El Muad'Dib as if he is Messiah are going to have an extremely rude awakening, and they're going to realize, well, hold on, Romania was actually headed towards a crisis. But they don't know, because they said, oh no, Romania was headed towards a crisis because of Georgia Simeon, but we not only avoided it, Will he be blamed it on lack of immigrants? Immigrants aren't really like, here's the thing, right? It's not that Romania wouldn't covet the immigrant. The immigrant doesn't want to live here. We're not Canada. We're not the United States. We're not wealthy. We're not rich. We don't have welfare. There was a thing on, I think it was Antena 3 at the time. I forgot the station. But this was like during the Merkel immigration wave, right? Like when Merkel opened the doors, when Mutti Merkel, do you guys remember that? She opened the doors and we had a lot of immigrants. And there were immigrants crying, like literally crying on TV. And it's like, why are they crying? Because they got fingerprinted. And I'm like, well, what the fuck does getting fingerprinted mean? It means they now have to stay in Romania, right? Because like it's the first safe country that they entered. So when they got fingerprinted, they have to stay in Romania. They can't go to France. They can't go to Sweden. They can't go to the UK. So there's no welfare here. There's no Gibbs. The only immigrants that we're getting are the Glovo Mafia. But those are people that are with a working contract. They come here, they work. They don't cause problems. They don't cause shit. And then they leave. And no one is complaining as far as I heard. Like the subject of illegal immigrants is non-existent in my country. In my country, the subject is like, what do we do with the emigration? Entire villages desolated because like people have left en masse. They left en masse towards Germany. They left en masse towards Sweden. They left en masse towards Italy, Spain. And so you have entire villages that are completely empty, filled with old people. No one is to take care of them, right? Like old people are missing their kids, crying, depressed. And so the idea that, okay, well, Nico Sherdan is going to bring upon the immigrant apocalypse and is going to make Romania into Germany or France 2.0, no, not gonna happen. Yeah, there's a difference when you have people that are here to work versus people that are here to leave. Western Europe will start moving to Romania soon. If they bring their rigid morality here, I'm going to spark out. Can you imagine like Romania complaining that there's English people here and they're doing the call-out culture and it pisses us off? It's like, why can't they fucking mind their own business? They came into my neighborhood and they started picking on me about the type of video games that I play. Who the fuck is that person? I guarantee to you, like, it would cause, you know, like, I went to a place, there was a British person there, and I started cracking a couple of jokes about abortion, and the British person immediately went like, oh, well, how can you talk about this at the table? It's like, who the fuck are you to say what I can and can't talk about, huh, you piece of shit? Like, that's pretty much how it's going to be like. No, seriously, dude, like, you don't understand the cultural clash. Like, if you come here, and you're at the table with a lot of Romanians, and someone makes a dark joke, right? Someone makes a dirty joke or some dark humor, and you're like, oh, how can you talk about it like that? Why are we discussing this? Oh, my fucking God. Like, you just made a personal enemy. Like, they're going to be like, who the fuck are you to tell me what I can and can't joke about, you little shit? If we're poor, people won't come. So if we're poorer, well, that's an idea. Yeah, but like you haven't seen what's happening in Spain, right? And you're not seeing what's going to happen in Britain. So, yeah, we're going to be poor. But the question is, like, are British people going to be poorer than us? They better not start that passive-aggressive shit in a bar. Yeah, if you start passive-aggressive shit in a bar in Romania, it's probably going to end up with a brawl. People in Romania, they appreciate blunt honesty. Just like brutal honesty. Unless they go to, like, the progressive cities, right? Unless they go to the hellhole that is called Constanța. Or to the abyss that we call Cluj. Or to the worst place imaginable, Bucharest, right? Like, if they go to these three places, then maybe they can integrate. Yeah, like, they can do a little bit of call-out culture over there. Sure. But my God, if they come to Vaslui, holy fucking shit, right? Like, no. The more east you go, the more east you travel, the less likely it is for you to carry your bullshit. You might be poor, but way more free than the Brits. Well, to be honest, SRC Maker, thank you for the $5. But with the caveat of for now. For now, we are more better than the Brits. In the future, I don't know. Brits Sates, Camille from France is going to have a surprise, yeah. Hold on, let me ask ChatGPT. Let me ask ChatGPT about what would happen. Alright, so let's imagine a very progressive British fellow who travels to Romania, doesn't know or care about the local customs, is in a somewhat rural area, and he starts tone policing people at the barbecue and does a bit of call-out culture. What is the level of spurg out from 0 to 11 that we can expect? A little bit of call-out culture and toll polices clearly is not minding their own business. This is a high-octane social powder keg, so let's break it down. You're imagining a very progressive Brit, likely urbanite, maybe Londonish, stepped into liberal Western norms of decorum and social justice activist, parachuting into rural Romania, an area where local culture is direct, proud, suspicious of outsider, and not exactly up to date with Western progressive etiquette. So he is tone policing at a barbecue. Romanians don't hold back. People shout, tease, argue loudly, often with biting sarcasm or crude jokes, especially after drinking. Calling people out for problematic language and jokes, many of which they might not even perceive as problematic. Criticizing the tone of content of conversation as an outsider in a place where don't come into my house and tell me how to speak is basically cultural doctrine. Initial confusion. People might assume he's joking or just quirky. Followed by increase in irritation. When it's clear he's serious and keeps at it. Group dynamics shift. Romanians tend to be tribal in rural settings. If Brits come off as condescending or insulting someone's dad or cousin, expect group solidarity to kick in against him. Alcohol amplification. Now we're cooking. Add Tsuika and beer, and you've got a cocktail of national pride, and who the hell is this guy? If he does it once and shuts up, he is on a 3 to 11 Richter scale. People might just laugh and move on. If he keeps pushing it, we're reaching a 7 out of 11. Things get icy, maybe someone throws a joke that bites hard. If he starts moralizing, finger wagging, and interrupting locals mid-story to lecture them, we're now reaching a 9.5 to 11 out of 11 social ostracism at best. Shout it down or forcibly remove that worse. Oh my god. In extreme cases, someone might say, du-te băta cu prostiile tale. Translation. Fuck your mom with your rubbish. Get the fuck out of here. Go to your mother with your nonsense, and that's your cue to leave. Unless he's insanely charming or self-aware, the level of spurga depends on how deep he digs. But rural Romania does not well with unsolicited moralism from foreigners. The system punishes arrogance, especially when it smells like Westerner thinks they're better than us. So if he wants to survive the grill and live with his dignity intact, he better learn to laugh with them, or at least shut the fuck up and eat the bitch. I do agree with this. Like, I can't contradict ChatGPT. Ask any Romanian in chat if you disagree with the bot's assessment. It's 100% true. What about a city? In a Romanian city, especially a large one, like the progressive hellholes, the reaction won't be as nuclear, but it still won't go the way that the progressive Brit thinks it will. The urban Romania is not like the urban UK. While city folk in Romania are more cosmopolitan, exposed to Western media, and might even agree with some progressive ideals, there are still major cultural rifts. Bluntness is valued. Diplomacy is for politicians, not for friends at the bar. Jokes are darker, crueler, more offensive by UK standards. Virtue signaling is seen as fake or annoying. Calling out someone publicly is considered rude, even when they deserve it. Passive-aggressive British-style confrontation is seen as cowardly. So what happens? You get a low-level spurg out. If he's a college-educated millennial or Gen Z, say Bucharest, they tolerate him. Maybe someone will not, maybe even agree. But people will mostly just tune him out or mock him behind his back or meme him in group chats later. They won't confront, but they will judge. You can reach a mid-level spurg out if it's mixed company. Let's say young professional, an older uncle, and a few blue-collar types, and he starts toe policing or calling people out for inappropriate language. There you'll see eye rolls, mocking reports, and dude, if you don't like it, fuck off back to England. High spurg out, we're reaching the 8, 9, 11 if he goes too hard, tries to lecture, moralize, or police jokes in a crowded social setting where alcohol is flowing and he's not part of the tribe. He might get publicly humiliated. The Romanian roast game is strong, and when someone smells pretentious, it's open season. He won't get physically attacked. Romanian urbanites are more chill than the rural people. But he might be socially ejected or memed so hard he gets turned into an anecdote people laugh about for the next 5 years. See, now I'm starting to understand why I had the impulse that I did towards Meloni Mac. Like, I experienced something primal, something ancestral. I don't know what the fuck it was, because I didn't even play those fucking games. I didn't even play the First Descendant or whatever the fuck, you know? Didn't even care about the lady shaking her ass. It was her audacity that triggered me. It was like not like a social justice trigger, like an ancestral thing, like the blood of the ancient ones was boiling inside me. It's like, how dare she moralize me and my community? And so I started miming her. I don't know, like now I'm starting to understand. In hipster circles, cafe, theater, scene, NGOs, he might find some like-minded people, especially around social justice causes, but even there, Romanian progressives tend to be more ironic, more cynical, and don't worship call-out culture. They'll find him too earnest, like someone quoting Tumblr at the nihilism convention. Okay, what if you get a British Puritan that starts complaining about the erotica some Romanians read? Now, this is an anthropological disaster waiting to happen. Let's say our British Puritan, emergently allergic to sex, swearing, and anything more provocative than Jane Austen walks into a Romanian setting and starts clutching pearls over erotica, romance novels, or just the way people casually talk about sex. The first landscape, Romania is not sexually conservative in way many outsiders assume. It's not Sweden either. It's a weird blend of Orthodox Christian base, Balkan fatalism, Slavic romanticism, and post-communist openness. Erotica, sexy TV memes with sexual innuendo and loud sexual humor is commonplace. People grew up watching softcore dubbed German porn at midnight in the early 2000s. Romance novels with racy covers are sold next to tabloids. No one is shocked. So if the British person starts saying, I think this is inappropriate, you're sexualizing things too much, this is not moral, is it? In a tone of concern, not curiosity or critique, but that moralistic tut-tutting that reeks of let me civilize you. The possible reactions are described with a fire emoji. The middle-aged auntie read romance novels for breakfast. Oh dear, you need a boyfriend or two. In other words, she would say, you need to get fucked. Unironically, right? Like, if you go to the grandma and you're like, calling her a gooner, you know, calling people a gooner, calling people incels, oh my goodness, porn rides your brain, she will tell that you need a girlfriend. Like, she will tell you that you need a pussy to bang you to shut the fuck up. Spurgout rating 2 out of 11. She'll find him prudish and amusing. Mockery will be affectionate, but she'll never take him seriously again. Urban woman. 30. Well-read. Progressive but spicy. You came here to teach us modesty? What century do you live in? She'll intellectually demolish him politely and then drag him in her group chat for being a dried-up lettuce with Victorian values. Spurgout rating 5 out of 11. Younger Romanians. 20s to 30s. Oh, this is me. Oh my god, look at this virgin priest in our mentions. They'll turn it into a meme. Picture of him holding a Bible and frowning at Colin Hoover novel with the caption, British Museum exhibit found judging our literature. Spurred out 6.5 to 11, he gets socially vaporized via satire. Older men, dads, barbecue, uncle. They will laugh loudly. Hey, my wife reads that. Watch it or I'll smack you with the book. Spurred out 7 out of 11. He gets roast mercilessly, might even be there to read a page out loud for everyone's amusement. In summary, British Puritan trying to censor or moralize erotica in Romania are seen as prude, buzzkilled, possibly repressed sexually, unwelcome moral authority, and worst of all, fucking boring. Romanians are many things, but they deeply resent people, especially foreigners, acting like moral policemen. It activates that old anti-communist reflex, don't tell me what to read, or what to say, or what to laugh at. Final Spurgout score between 5 and 9/11, depending on how hard he pushes. If he's gentle and awkward, he gets laughed off. If he's righteous and persistent, he gets destroyed. If he starts quoting scripture, someone will probably tell him to read 50 Shades and loosen up before his head explodes. Yeah, see, this AI actually validates me in a way that makes me not feel atomized and abnormal. It's like, okay, it's not that I'm weird. It's my ethnicity. It's racial, it seems. It's a racial trait. Gabriel Nartev, thank you for the 25 rod. Soon I will have to ask you to give me in dollars, because, like, inflation. Remember what happens in village discotheques back in the mid-90s and 2000s, when city folk would just show up there, no looking for trouble, yeah. Again, it's kind of hilarious, because, like, when you go on the internet, you think that America dominates culture around the world, and then you go back into your country and you touch grass, and you realize just how different and chill people are. I solved your freedom issue. Check the DMs on Discord. I will. It's a very in-depth answer. Yeah, I know, like, once you jailbreak the AI, it actually talks to you properly. Bro, start doing that Romania's Second Amendment lobby group. Can you show this video on the stream? I think your audience will like it. Alright, let's see if my audience will like this. Guys, I'm going to show you a video.
The second most important principle of our nation.
Hold on. Alright, I think I can show it now.
What is the second most important principle of our nation? Guns. I don't hate that. What will posterity say of us if the second right we enshrine in this document is simply guns? That we don't play.
Damn, that's actually kind of sick.
Yes. Gentlemen, we cannot just have an amendment that says guns. What about guns? Having. Sir, where are you from exactly? America.
If you're talking about guns in Romania, that's difficult. It's very difficult. We actually used to have a Second Amendment back in the day, but then the communists came, and the communists they took our guns, man. Like, they had the Red Army, they took our guns, and since then people are mortified of guns, right? I'm not gonna lie. You put a Glock on my table, especially if it's black. Like, if it's with anime and woo, I may actually react differently. But if it's black, it looks fucking scary. Like, I want to shoot it, but it's still scary. Even if it's not loaded, like, it has this aura of dread. And like me, many Romanians, we don't see guns at all, right? So, I don't know how you would be able to introduce the Second Amendment in my country. There are people that try, and they're doing it very gently. Like, first it's like, well, what about rangers? You know, like the guys that go into the forest and they patrol and shit. Shouldn't they have guns? Well, what about truck drivers, right? So, like, very slowly they're trying to push. But realistically speaking, I don't think it will happen in my generation. It's just like a different culture, you know? You can't do it. Yeah, Romania has actually one of the most tight gun legislations in the world. Zlixia says, I have both a pistol and an AK-47 shotgun. There's no such thing as an AK. Is there? Chat, does an AK-47 shotgun exist? Yeah, basically, since people haven't done military service, they have never seen a gun, and they're afraid of it. Is there such a thing as an AK-47 shotgun? Yes, but it's a weird no fucking way. No fucking way! These semi-automatic shotguns designed to look like an AK-47, often sharing similar ergonomics. They're usually 12 gauge and feed from box magazines or drums just like a rifle. Saiga 12 made in Russia, blah blah blah. Are they compatible with AK parts? Sort of. Why would anyone want one? Familiarity, tactical use, cool factor, it looks badass. Is it legal? Depends on your country. USA, many of these are legal. EU, Romania, heavy regulated. A civilian would need a license. And many of them are banned due to capacity or design. UK, almost certainly. How would Romanians in an urban area react if an American places a gun on a table, assuming that he is legally allowed to have it? What's the reaction? Pierces through Romania's unique relationship with guns. Post-communist paranoia, part Hollywood conditioning, and pragmatism. Romania has strict gun laws. Civilian ownership of handguns or semi-auto rifles is rare and tightly regulated. Most civilians can only own hunting rifles, sport firearms, or gas guns, and even then after passing psychological evaluation and background checks. Handguns like Glocks are mostly in the hands of cops, military, and extremely rich hobbyist elites. The average Romanian, even in cities, rarely sees a gun in person unless they're military, police, or criminal. So what happens if an American, legal or not, puts a gun on the table? Reaction, silence, staring. Air gets sucked out of the room. Look at this, chat. Look at fucking this, right? This is literally what will happen. Yes, absolutely. If you put a gun, if it's a legal gun, and you put it on the table, absolute silence. For 1-3 seconds, people will freeze. Most urban Romanians do not expect a real firearm to just appear like it's an iPhone or a wallet. Guns are serious, dangerous, cop criminal stuff. Second, suspicion. Is this guy insane? Even if you explain, I'm American, it's legal, chill, the knee-jerk reaction is, what the fuck? Is this guy a cowboy or a psycho? Social fragmentation happens fast. The bro dudes or guns enthusiasts. They'll ask a million questions, might even admire it. I'm not part of this group. Mild approval, 3 out of 11 spurg out. The normies, I'm probably here, will look deeply uncomfortable. Someone will probably get up and leave the room. Dude, that's not cool. Why would you bring that here? The woke, urban, leftist, NGO people expect immediate moral panic. This is toxic masculinity with the trigger. You brought a weapon into a peaceful space. That's a threat. Might take a photo and start blowing you up online. Other Romanians. Boy, nebunit, are you insane? You put a gun on the table like in the movies. Want me to call the police? 9 out of 11. Ex-security types are worried. Police might get called. There is an American with a gun on the table and suddenly it's a problem. Moral aftershock. Even if nothing happens, people will talk behind your back. He brought a real gun, just like that. It leaves a mark. It scars a soul. The vibe is ruined. Legality doesn't mean acceptance. In Romania, legality doesn't equal social acceptability when it comes to guns. You could 100% be legal and still get treated like you unzipped your pants at a funeral. The urban Romanian reaction, casually placing a gun on the table, even if legal, initial shock, confusion, suspicion, social tension. 50% of the room might leave or want you gone. Someone might call the cops. Your reputation in that group will be tainted unless it's a gun not circle. Spurg out 6 to 10.5 out of 11. Romania is just not a place where you flex guns. Even if military guns, keep that energy locked down. What about a grenade? Oh, now you're really pushing the social self-destruct button. Bringing a grenade, even a deactivated one, into an urban Romanian setting, that's not a spurgout, that's a nationalist. Immediate reaction, terror flash. You'll see primal fear in people's eyes. It's not just uncomfortable. It's existential panic. Buh! You brought a grenade? What have you done? Someone will run to call the cops, no doubt. Phones will be out in seconds, either for filming or calling the authorities. This isn't haha quirking America. This is there's a lunatic with an explosive device. We're gonna be on the news. Police response, even if it's inert, expect armed police or anti-terror units if you're in a public venue. The grenade doesn't need to be real. The assumption will be better safe than sorry. You'll be detained. The object will be confiscated. You'll get fined or deported. If they find out it's real but disarmed, still massive legal headache. Aftermath, social fallout. Even if no one gets hurt, you become a national myth. Remember when that crazy American brought a bomb to the party? And even if it was just a paperweight, doesn't matter, the perception is burned in. If you say something like in America is just a decoration, they will say, well, ai luat o razna rău de tot. You people have completely lost your marbles. Spurgout, flat, 11-11. Weren't there cases when young lads in the rural area found World War II loot? Yes, absolutely. Romania had multiple real cases where young people in rural areas stumbled upon World War II era munitions and even explosives, not rare, especially in certain regions. Kids find a grenade or shell while digging. Every couple of years, some kids or farmers find grenades, artillery shells, or mortars. Their reaction, they call 911, bomb squad shows up, metal detector hobbyists. There was a guy that poked at the nade with a screwdriver and caused a FOFA of 11 on the Richter scale. Yes, that's exactly the kind of Darwin Award behavior that lives forever in Romanian pub lore and Facebook and gossip. Let's break this absolute bad lads journey down in forensic comedy. A rural Romanian legend retold in various forms. Young guy, maybe 17, 25, finds a rusty grenade from World War II while herding sheep or fixing up an old shed. Let's see what's inside, he thinks. Grabs a screwdriver, hammer, or God forbid a lighter, begins poking, scrapping, unscrewing, assuming that it's old, one blow up. Then comes the FOFA of 11. Catastrophic incident. Best case, boom, blows up a chunk of the barn or garden, sends the idiot flying with minor injuries, and let's not kid ourselves, a few missing finger. Guess the nickname, Yon the Grenadier. Worst case, fatality, and the local priest has to bury a guy whispering, what an idiot, God forgive me. I'm not even kidding, that's what the priest would say, right? Like, what an idiot, God forgive me. Like he has to express himself. Even God understands. In this situation, right, God understands the priest. Had to call him an idiot, even though you're not supposed to speak well of the dead. It's like, well, given the circumstances, alright. News cycle, tragedy. In an urban area of Suceava, a young man died after trying to unpack a grenade with a screwdriver. He was a good boy, but a little too curious. Fuck around, find out. 11 out of 11, complete and total spurgout. If there was a Romanian Richter type scale for idiocy mixed with explosive, would be a category defining 11. The first 1 out of 3 found the rusty shell, took photos. 4 out of 6 tried to sell it on OLX. Don't laugh, it happened. Craigslist, right? So like someone found a rusty shell, tried to sell it on Craigslist, pulled the pin as a joke, tried to dismantle it with a screwdriver on camera, successfully detonated while being an absolute moron. Final note, it really happens. There have been actual fatal incidents in Satu Mare, Iași-Gorj, and a few other years. Romanian army or demining units find World War II explosive in civilian hands or being mishandled. So yes, some rural hero tried to disarm a grenade with a basic tool and turned himself into a cautionary tale told in memes and tragedy porn in news segments. Yeah, moral of the story, grenades are not Kinder surprises. They have MLP AR-15, literally My Little Pony colored accessories. Check out Blair White's collection on her channel. I have 4 ARs and 1 AK and a total of 23 firearms. Sleep with a Glock 19 under my bed in a biometric Glock box. AR-15 shotgun does. Okay, well, I learned something today. I have both a pistol and an AK-47 shot. Is that an AK-47 bazooka? I wouldn't be surprised. Let me ask you just one more question, right? Just one. I'm curious now. What if you put on the table in a Romanian village a gun that's with sexy anime girls and ooh faces? The gun is real, but painted as such. And now we're entering the highly cursed Venn diagram of rural Romanian masculinity, anime weeb culture, real firearms, and deep Balkan confusion. Guns are serious business, right? Like, this is the village context. Anime, weird Japanese cartoons for kids, right? Completely outside their cultural flame unless the grandkids are watching Naruto. Painting guns, already weird. Most Romanians don't do tactical, let alone otaku cool. Initial visual processing failure. What the fuck is this? They're trying to reconcile. It's a real gun. It has cartoon girls with big eyes. It has senpai on the barrel. Absolute sensory overload. The boomer response. Is it a woman's gun or for a trans person? Gender confusion plus threats to masculinity. The local tough guy hunter uncle. If it shoots well, the paint doesn't matter. Spread out 3 to 11, but with heavy side-eye. Younger villagers, teens, maybe 20s. Does it shoot love? You took the anime too far, bro. Spread out 4 to 6 to 11. If you start explaining it seriously that this is Hatsune Miku, a Vocaloid, and the gun represents a contrast between the innocence and violence, at this point you've triggered an existential spurg out. Someone will walk away shaking their head, someone else might ask if you're okay mentally, and one will definitely say, this is from America, right? Spurg out 8 out of 11, possibly 10 out of 11. In rural Romania, having a gun is already a big deal. If it's a real and modern, people will assume that you're with the military, you're rich and shady, or you're mentally unwell. The guy escaped from a psych ward and learned Japanese. Final rating, a spurg out of 6 out of 10 to 11. Depending on how you act, cocky versus chill, if alcohol is involved, if you keep the gun on the table or start waving it like John Wick, you're going to get the nickname the guy with the pink gun with the weird girls. Remember when that lunatic came with the cartoon gun? Your anime-themed firearm will be interpreted as either witchcraft, satire, or degeneracy, not unnecessarily hostile, but deeply unsettling to the rural Romanian brainstream. So yeah, Ugan, go pew pew in the wrong village. Cultural meltdown. Japanese used to love guns. There was a point where Japan had more guns than a lot of Europe. Yeah, it's true. They lost the war. Anyway. I'm going to go upload video on my secondary channel. Thank you guys for the super chats. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Do share this video if you guys make clips or stuff. Like I'll share it online on Shorts and on Twitter. And I'll see you all later.